Good day to my fellow friend and lecturer. My name is Wong Joing, CD 20024. Today I'm here to present the mini project of programming technique. The title is Council of Parliamentary Management System. The introduction of this mini project is every country has their own law. However, before it become a law, it was called a bill. A bill can only become a law until it is passed by legislature. Before the bill is passed, it need to hand into the parliament. After received by a parliament, it will have speaker sequence system to announce about the bill in the parliament. After the system, it will turn to the debate system. Two of the members will debate on the bill that discussed. Voting system will appear after finished debate. It determines the bill whether passed or did not pass. Lastly, the passed bill will send to jurisdiction system. The objective of the mini project is to develop a software code that is supportive mechanism for the lawmaking process and make sure the data and the process is regulating properly. It also need to increase the efficiency during the process.
My name is Muhammad Azrizal bin Muhammad Yusof, CB20055, and today I will be explaining my part of the project, which is for the flowchart and also the coding part. So first we have my flowchart that I did, and I did the speaker sequence system. So first we will ask the user for the first two input, which is the first speaker and also the number speaker, and then we go for the first decision. So if first speaker equals to 1, then we print out that you are given 5 minutes to give your speech, your countdown has started, and then it will declare the timer equals to 300, and then it will go for the for loop, and inside of the for loop is the timer, so it will go from 300 straight to 0. Then after that we'll go for another decision, which is the I equals to 10. So for this it will go for another for loop, and then in this one it will print out that you have I second left, and I is equals to 10, 9, 8 until 0. And then after that it will print out that your time to speak has expired, please stop your speech or warning will be issued. And then after that, if the first speaker is equal to 0, then it will print out that you have chosen not to speak first, and then we go straight to the next speaker. And if the next speaker is equals to 1, then it will go for the same process as before. So for the next one, if the next speaker is equals to 0, then it will go for another for loop. But in this for loop though, we have the random number generator. So for this, it will give like a random number, and then it will print it out. And then after that, it will go for the same process as the previous one. So after that, it will go for the count speaker, so which means the continue with another speaker. So if count speaker is equals to 1, then it will print out that the jury has decided not to end the debate. You are given a chance to give your speech. But if the count speaker is equal to 0, then it will just avoid the whole thing, and then it will go for the while loop. And then for this while loop, is count speaker is equals to 1, then it will loop back up and go back to the next speaker. And from this, the user can enter again 1 or 0. But if the count speaker is equals to 0, then it will print out that today's debate has ended.
My name is Wong Wang Wai, matrix number is CD20120. And for my part, I'm doing about the debating system for the jury. And before we start explain my coding, and this is a flowchart of my code. First, the jury or the user need to enter their member names, because this debating system debating need about two person and one debate title. So user need to enter their names and the debate code or the debate title before the debate. When the debate start, speaker could give the warning letters or warning to the members if they're doing some not disciplined stuff, so that they also the record for the warning part lah. And after that is the voting system, and voting system if is my another partner to complete the this part. After that, after the voting system, then we could continue debate for the another title or another person lah, to key in the the confirmation for the part.
For my flowchart, it is combined with my groupmate Wong Guang Wai. which is the debate system. After the debate system is stopped, it requires the user to enter number of voters and the type of bill. And it will require the voters to enter either agree word or disagree word, and it will calculate the total word of agree and disagree. Fraction is count by number of word agree divided by total of voters. After that, if the type of bill is simple majority and the fraction is bigger than one half, the bill is shown passed and hand into jurisdiction system. If not, the bill is not passed. If the type of bill is supermajority and the fraction is bigger than 2/3, the bill also show pass. If not, the bill also is shown not pass. After calculation the status of the bill, the system will ask whether continue the debate or not. If continue the debate, the system will go back to the debate system, or not, or not continue debate, the system will end. For my coding, I have using two function declaration, which is word found and word display duty. In the integer main, I'm starting for file operation, and the file, I have opened a file called law and bills and write it on the notepad. And then I enter the content of the law and bills notepad and close the notepad. The picture shown beside it is the content of the notepad. After that, I have calling a function file. In the middle is the function definition of raw file. So it will require to enter the file name in the TFC type, and it will open the file for the reading. If the file is not, then we'll show arrow while opening the file. If not, it will show the content from the file. After that, we go back to my integer main coding. Each chart LMB, which stand for law and bill. It will ask for, is it a law or a bill? To upper I'm used is whether it's type big capital L or smaller L also can work. If the LMB is equal to L, then it will display Judy. The display Judy also a calling function. So below the picture below that is a function definition of display Judy. Is a LMB is equal to L, then the system will end and hand into jurisdiction system. Else, if the LMB is equal to B, which is bill, it will continue with the speaker sequence system.
So for the next part is the codings for the speaker sequence system. So first we will declare the first speaker, next speaker, timer, speaker, count speaker, and also counter as integer. And then we have this run time now, which is basically uses the internal clock to select a random number since the time is continually changed, and this is used for the random number generator. And then we will print out that you have given an offer to start the speech, and we will print 1 for yes, and then we will go for the do while loop, and inside of this loop we have the first decision, which is the first speaker equals to 1. Then we print out that you are given 5 minutes to give your speech and your countdown has started, and then you will declare time equals to 300, and then we will go for the countdown timer for the speaker, and inside of this we have the for loop, and inside of the for loop we have the if, and if I equals to 10, then we will go for another for loop, and then inside of that for loop then we will print out that you have like how many seconds left, and then after all of those process we will print out that your time to speak has expired. Please stop your speech or warning will be issued. And then it will print out the 1 for yes and then 0 for no, and this time is for the next speaker. And then if the next speaker is go to 1, then it will go back on top to the first speaker. But if next speaker is go to 0, then it will print out the speaker session is end. And then after that, it will print out that since none of the speaker would like to give their speech, a random number will be chosen. Please pay attention to the number that has been assigned to your table. If your number is chosen, you will have to give your speech. And then we have another do while loop, which is for the number generator. And then inside of it, we have the for loop. And inside of it, we have the speaker equals to random and then percentage counter plus 1. So this is the random number generator, which is we select like a different number, and then it will print out the number that has been chosen. And then after that, it will print out that you may now start your speech. You're given 5 minutes to give your speech. Your countdown has started, and then declare again the time equals 200. And this is the same process as the previous one. And then next up is the for the jury. So it will print out 1 for yes and then 0 for no. And then we will also print to continue with the next jury. So it's if it's 1, then we go for this decision. So if count speaker equals to 1, then the jury has decided not to end the debate. You are given a chance to give a speech, and then counter equals to counter plus 1. If count speaker equals to 1, then we will go back to the top to the random number generator, and we pick up a random number again. And then after, if the count speaker equals to 0, then it will print out that today's speech is ended. So what have I learned from programming technique is that I have learned a lot more about C programming, how to use it and how to code using it. Because before this, in matriculation, I used to use Java, which is a little bit different from C programming, especially the coding part. And in programming technique, it has further my knowledge about C programming, and has also further my knowledge about how to code using it. So I want to say thank you.
My coding. First, I use includes to stdio.h, and I also use structure for this coding because the structure I will explain later, and for now I just explain about the structure member. Before that, I use do while for the entire system because we need to repeat the debating part. And just now I say user need to input their names and the bill's title for the debating. And this debate is only at 5 minutes. And the next part is just now I said the warning section. User can, the speakers, the main of the speaker can give the warning to the first member or the second member. If giving to the first member, and it will record for the structure that I use for this system. And also speaker will let the flow continue or not. And also that the speaker also can yes or no for the new debates. And this part is my structure for the member part, for the debater part. And I use the modulus function for the structure part because we need to count the warning, the amount of warning for the two debater, and I use a structure to combine the structure, the debater name and the warning amount into one structure. Another one structure is about the second members and his warnings amount.
After end of the debate system, it will continue with voting system. In this coding, I have pre-type which is character, integer, and flow. It will require to enter the number of voters and the type of the bill. If it is simple majority, you need to enter 1, and if it is super majority bill, you need to enter 2. After input of these 2 questions, the voting will start by enter Y is agree and N is disagree. From here, I'm also using 2 upper because whether you type Y, bigger Y or smaller Y also will process the progress. After enter all the word, it will display the status of word and calculate the fraction. The fraction is calculated by the word agree divided by the number of voters. If the fraction is bigger than 0.5, which means 1/2, the status of bill is passed and it will display duty and hand into judicial system. Else, if it is not bigger than 0.5, the status of bill is not passed and show the bill is failed. For the type bill equals to 2, which means the supermajority bill, if the fraction is bigger than 0.67, which means 2/3, the status of build is passed and display due date. Else, if not, it will display no pass and build is failed and end my voting system.
And about the reflection part, for this entire SEM, I just learned modulus function and array for this semester lah, because modular function has saved a lot of time and saved a lot of space for my codings, and array also helped me a lot when to put all the information inside things like putting into a table or something else. This is just my part and my opinion for my learning in this sense. Thank you.
That's all for our mini project. Thank you.